On New Year's Eve, it was time for three close friends, Sophie, Emma, and Mia, to come together and celebrate. The young women had known each other since their high school years and had made plans to spend the New Year's holiday together. However, that night, an unexpected nightmare would change the New Year's holiday together. However, that night, an unexpected nightmare would change their lives forever. The three girls gathered at Sophie's warm and welcoming family home. Christmas tree lights twinkled, and the atmosphere in the room was filled with laughter, indulged in sweets, and enjoyed the New Year's traditions. However, the odd behavior exhibited by Emma at the beginning of the night was the first peculiar occurrence. Emma's eyes seemed to be following something from another world. Sophie and Mia momentarily dismiss this peculiarity as an unimportant detail. However, as the night progressed, Emma's behavior became even more peculiar. While continuing the New Year's traditions, Emma suddenly stopped speaking. In the cheerful atmosphere of the room, Emma's eyes seemed vacant. Sophie and Mia exchanged worried glances, and Emma's face became expressionless. Sophie asked, "Emma, what's wrong? Is everything okay?" But Emma silently nodded and left the room. Sophie and Mia exchanged concerned glances and then followed Emma. The door at the end of the hallway opened quietly. Emma's pale face and trembling body appeared in the dark corridors of the second floor as Sophie and Mia chased after their friend. The atmosphere in the surroundings rapidly changed. Strange shadows danced in the rooms, and the peculiar sounds emanating from behind the door at the end of the corridor caused the hearts of the three young women to race. Upon opening the door, the atmosphere inside the room felt frozen, as if chilled to the bone. In the center of the room, Emma stood in front of an old mirror. The mirror was adorned with strange symbols and writings. Emma's eyes seemed to be following a dark entity appearing within the mirror. Worriedly, Sophie asked, "Emma, what are you doing?" But Emma calmly replied, "I released it. There's no escape now." These words instilled fear and horror in the hearts of Sophie and Mia. Suddenly, a strange energy wave was felt in the room. Strange sounds echoed from the walls. Mia shouted, "What is this? What happened here?" But they received no answer. In that moment, a presence entered the room. A dark silhouette emerged from the shadows and roamed within the room. Sophie, Mia, and Emma stood frozen in shock before this entity. Approaching Emma, the entity embraced her in a hypnotic manner. Emma's eyes seemed to be under the control of this dark entity. For a moment, everything in the room stood still. Sophie and Mia were experiencing the most terrifying moment of their lives, as Emma's body was controlled by the dark entity. The atmosphere in the room became increasingly intense. Symbols and writings began to spread on the walls as the room's temperature dropped. The three young women stood helplessly before this dark ritual. The dark entity paused for a moment and then turned to Sophie and Mia. With a tone filled with echoing noise, it said, "You brought it to me, and now all of you will stay here." As the room's temperature dropped, the three young women stood helplessly before this dark ritual. The dark entity paused for a moment and then turned to Sophie and Mia. With a tone filled with echoing noise, it said, "You brought it to me, And now all of you will stay here. Sophie, Mia, and Emma became unable to see each other. In a moment accompanied by a scream, everything in the room froze. After a while, the mist dissipated, and Sophie and Mia found themselves deep in a forest. Emma seemed to have disappeared. At that moment, the shadow of strange creatures appeared in the forest. The three young women, lost in the depths of the night, confronted the dark reality they had fallen into due to their friend's descent into madness. More in Part 2.